Okay, this is my first in a series of vintage card sets from my collection. We're going to start here with 1968 Topps. Okay. There is my Nolan Ryan. Beckett 7. Series starts out with all your league leaders, littered with Hall of Fame players: Clemente, Yastrzemski, Frank Robinson, Kaline Aaron, Cepeda, Fergie Jenkins, Necro, Killebrew. All very cool. This one being my favorite, with Cepeda and Clemente and Aaron. So here we go. Set starts out with a few more league leaders, and namely Piniella, one of his many rookie cards in the mid to late 60s. Then we have Hall of Famer Brooks Robinson, legendary player manager Gil Hodges, who probably should be in the Hall of Fame, Julian Javier, one of my favorite ball players. And now we got Hall of Famer Joe Torre, a few other commons, Bob Moose and Bob Robertson rookie card. Okay, Hall of Famer Billy Williams, Cookie Rojas, played a long time. Legendary pitcher Denny McLain, most famous for his 2 Cy Youngs, his 31 wins in '68, and a world champion. And Hall of Famer Tom Seaver, second year card. And we have Ralph Houck, longtime manager of the Yankees, and a very cool Willie Mays. Got Hall of Famer Eddie Matthews, his last Topps card. Reggie Smith, longtime, very good player, second year card. And Ken Holtzman, won a lot of World Series games with Oakland, and also pitched for the Yankees in the World Series later in his career. Pitched a no-hitter with the Cubs. Good pitcher. I believe he's from St. Louis. Let me look. Yep, University City, Missouri. Okay. The next page we got Bob Veal, who was a very hard-throwing lefty for the Pirates. Good pitcher. Hit some seasons with some low ERA. And Tommy John, longtime excellent major league pitcher. That is his, oh no, it's about his 4th year card. It's cool nonetheless. Okay. Next page we got Hall of Famer Rod Carew, second year card, very cool. Jim Northrup, 68 World Series champion. And Milt Pappas threw a no-hitter with the Cubs, I believe. Jim Ray Hart on one of those good 60s Giants teams. Bobby Tolan played in a few World Series with the Big Red Machine. Dick Williams, Hall of Fame manager, I believe. I could be wrong. Hall of Fame Willie Stargell and Gaylord Perry. And the very underrated Vada Pinson. I believe ended up with over 2,700 hits. Quite a player. I believe he was boyhood friends with Frank Robinson and Curt Flood. Next page we have All-Star Rocky Colavito. I believe that is his last card. Big slugger in his day. Not a Hall of Famer. Some good ones here. Got my favorite pitcher ever, Hall of Famer Bob Gibson. Hall of Famer Don Sutton. Al Downing. Gave up Aaron's 715th home run. And a checklist with Juan Marichal. Oh, we got Hall of Famer Hank Aaron. And Sam McDowell, who was one of the best pitchers of his time. And Bert Campaneris, the spark plug for the three-time world champion Oakland Athletics. Not much here. Gene Mauch, longtime manager. Mark Belanger, won a bunch of Gold Gloves. Mel Stottlemyre, good pitcher for a long time. And we got Hall of Famer Tony Perez. Ricky Stanley, most famous for playing shortstop in the '68 World Series out of position. Being a big part of that team. Paul Blair, many Gold Gloves, outstanding player, won a world title in '71. This one, some veterans, Tony Conigliaro, big time slugger, got beaned. Played a few more years, that was it. And we got a real sucky card of Joe Morgan, hatless. Wish there was a better one, but that's how it is with Topps. And here we go. We got Hall of Famer Don Drysdale. Incredible card of Bob Clemente, Roberto Clemente. Love that card. And we got the World Series cards from the previous year, '67. Hall of Famer Brock, Hall of Famer Yaz, Hall of Famer Bob Gibson, Lonborg, Rico, and then St. Louis winning it all. And now we got Tony Oliva. He might have won a batting title. He was always hitting over 300. Outstanding player. Probably never get in the Hall of Fame, but he should be close. He was quite a player. And Elston Howard, longtime Yankee. I believe that's his last Topps card. And we got Walt No-Neck Williams, second year card. Stolen Base King, Maury Wills, until Lou Brock came around. And Curt Flood, 7-time Gold Glover, almost a lifetime 300 average, gave up his career to fight the reserve clause. Outstanding player. Not in the Hall of Fame. Okay. Next page is full of commons and veterans. Same with this page. Elroy Face won a World Series in 61. No, 60. Pepitone was some of the great Yankee teams. There's Yaz on a checklist. Bill White, longtime Cardinal. Don Buford, pretty good leadoff hitter for the Orioles. And then Gary Nolan, who was in the rotation for the Big Red Machine. Hall of Famer Orlando Cepeda, who was MVP the previous year. Mike Marshall. Hall of Famer Juan Marichal. Some commons. Willie Davis, pretty good hitter in his day. Chico Ruiz, died very young. Jim Bunning, some other commons. Hall of Famer Harmon Killebrew, great card. Slugger Richie Allen, many believe should be in the Hall of Fame. Some say nobody hit the ball as hard as he did. Quite the player. And of course the great Pete Rose, very cool card. Love it. George Scott, pretty good ball player. Bill Von Bouquet. Hall of Famer Ron Santo, Tug McGraw, outstanding reliever. Al Kaline, Hall of Famer. And some commons. Johnny Bench, rookie. Very cool. Carl Yastrzemski, another Hall of Famer. Okay. Cleon Jones, part of the Miracle Mets. Dean Chance, won a Cy Young. Phil Niekro, Hall of Famer. Norm Cash, 68 World Series champion. One of the last cards of Kenny Boyer. Jimmy Wynn, the toy cannon. And Dave Duncan, longtime pitching coach here in St. Louis. Okay. The best one out of here, Matty Lou. He's gone. Hit 300 quite a bit. Good little ball player, not much for RBIs. Not a power guy, but a good damn hitter. Dave Johnson, world champion with the Orioles and the Mets as a manager. Tim McCarver, great longtime catcher. Catcher for Steve Carlton and Bob Gibson. Pretty impressive. Great card. I love that 68 card of his. And there's Cepeda on a checklist. There we go. One of the best cards in the set. Mickey Mantle. Love that card. Second last year card. He'll have another one in 69, which would be his last. Dick McAuliffe, leadoff hitter for Detroit, world champs. That glare, can't get rid of it. Okay. Hall of Famer Willie McCovey. Hall of Famer Red Shandeist. Sonny Siebert from St. Louis. And some comments. Oh, Art Shamsky, part of the Miracle Mets. Rusty Staub. I believe he had about 2,700 hits too. Quite a hitter for a long time. Some comments. Al Weiss, Miracle Mets. Hall of Famer Louis Aparicio. Some comments. 64 MVP Zoli Versailles. Versailles, not sure. Leo Rocher, Hall of Famer. Frank Howard, big power man. He might have hit over 400 home runs. I think he did. And some comments. There you go. Last card of Roger Maris. Very cool. Love that card. Gotten 2 World Series with the Cardinals. Says it was the happiest days of his career. Tony Taylor, longtime player, had a ton of hits. If I'm not mistaken, about 2,300. Manny Mota, famous for his pinch hits. And some comments. And pretty much all commons. Bill Robinson, pretty good player. Did some coaching for a long time. And we got Don Clendenon, World Series MVP. Hoyt Wilhelm, Hall of Fame reliever. There we go. Ernie Banks, Hall of Famer. Very cool card. Mike Epstein. Believe it or not, his nickname was Super Jew. I don't think that would happen today. And Detroit slugger Willie Horton. Had well over 300 home runs. Good ball player. And here comes the All-Star cards. Love these as a kid. Sporting News, which was a magazine that I got. Here's Yaz. There's Ron Santo. Brooks Robinson. Joe Morgan. Harmon Killebrew. Cepeda. Carew. 7 Hall of Famers on that page. There's a bunch more. Gibson, oh man, awesome card. McCarver, Frank Robinson, Clemente, Freehand, Brock, Oliva, and Hank Aaron. Oh, I love that Clemente card too. Some great All-Star cards. There's Boog Paul, big slugger. Hal McRae rookie card. Jim Hunter, 4- or 5-time world champ. Greg Goosen, one of the, gosh, they glare, sorry. Greg Goosen played on the 69 Seattle Pilots. Tommy Aaron, Hank Aaron's brother. Hall of Famer Bill Mazeroski. Cool card. And mostly commons. Ray Euler. All field, no hit. Mudcat Grant. Boy, he had some good years. Heck of a pitcher. Vic Davalillo. Traveled around. Played here in St. Louis. You got World Series MVP Mickey Lolich. Hall of Famer Ferguson Jenkins. Hall of Famer Steve Carlton. And some commons. Some commons with some good ball players: Callison, Crawford, Cesar Tovar. Rico Petrocelli, the best player on here. The rest would be considered commons. Alex Johnson, troubled, was accused of playing in the shade, was accused of being lazy, bad reputation. Rest are commons. Some played a long time. Hallenier, yeah. Ron Peranowski, longtime pitcher. Oh, Jim Cott won a ton of games. Could be in the Hall of Fame. Lots of gold gloves. Mike Shannon. Been in the Cardinals organization for about 50 years. One of my favorite cards. Love it. And some commons. One of the Alou brothers, Philippe Maddie, and there's Jesus. Rico Cardi, great hitter. Great hitter. There's Frank Robinson on a checklist. Jim Lefebvre. And some commons. Dick Hauser, manager of the 85 World Champ Royals. Manager for the Yankees for a while. Tommy Agee is famous for Game 3 of the '69 World Series. 2 incredible plays, saved 5 runs, and a home run. Jim Lonborg, and some commons. Coming up on the 30-minute mark. I hope it lets me go. Let's see. Bill Freehan, Walter Alston, Hall of Famer. Joe Niekro, brother of Phil. Some commons. Dave McNally, good pitcher. There's a manager's dream card with Clemente on it. Awesome card. And some commons. We're getting into some of the higher numbers here. Lee May rookie card. A Superstars card with Mantle, Mays, and Killebrew. That's pretty incredible. And some commons. We have the Cards team. One of my favorite cards. We got Hall of Famer Frank Robinson. Little Al Jackson had a pretty good career. John Blue Moon Odom. Oh, Steve Blass, who won the 7th game of the '71 World Series for the Pirates. And this is a bunch of commons. Hank Bauer was a longtime Yankee player. He is as a manager. Oh, there we go. Okay. Probably my all-time favorite card, Lou Brock. Love the colors. Love the stance. Absolutely love it. Tito Francona, father of Terry Francona. And Brooks and Frank Robinson. Wes Parker and some gold gloves. Nelson Bryles, longtime pitcher. Sandy Alomar Sr. Roy White, longtime Yankee. Lindy McDaniel, longtime pitcher. Mayo Smith, manager of the '68 Tigers, world champs. Jose Tartabull, Danny Tartabull's father. Clete Boyer, which is Kenny Boyer's brother. Jim Bouton, character. Eddie Stanky was one of the good guys on the Brooklyn teams with Jackie Robinson. Ken Harrelson, solid pitcher Larry Durker, Tony La Russa, his last card, Hall of Famer Jim Palmer. Wilbur Wood won a ton of games. Gates Brown, good pinch hitter. Jerry Grody, catcher of the 69 Mets. Some more commons. And the end of the 68 set. Just some commons. Okay. We're going to do a new one next. Not sure if I'm going to go backwards, go back to 67, or move up 69. Those are another couple favorites of mine, but we'll go through them all. Thanks. Bye.